For this flow, we're going to start on the left side of the pole. So I'm always going to show you the pieces from the back and the front. So if you get confused with the side, or if you want to do it the other way, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to start facing with the front side. So I'm standing on the left side of the pole. My weight is on my outside leg, which is also the left, and my inside leg is going to be crossed over my front leg on the toes. And my hand is just to the side and my face is facing down to the floor. My inside hand is on the pole in a bent position. From here, to start, I'm going to lift my arm up and kind of like come straight up to slightly touch my face. I'm going to try to keep my fingers very soft. So I'm going to move up and at the same time moving my head back, have a slight extension in my back. It's like opening, and once I'm touching my face or coming close, I'm also going to bend that front leg. So it's going to look like this. I'm going to lift and touch. Yes. From here, we're bringing both back down, so arm and leg, and the inside leg comes from a bent position to straight and will then turn inside. So you're going to rotate it to the inside and then bring it back to go into a pirouette. So we had hand, touch, lift, and now bring it back. Start to bring your hands into a pirouette position. We're going to turn on that foot. Keep turning until you're all the way to front again. Your inside arm is straight. You're gonna hook your inside knee. Don't hook it too high because I'm not gonna do a front hook spin. And if your knee is too high, you might get stuck if you're too sticky to the pole. So it should be below your hip. From here, we're gonna perform a front hook spin. But what is a bit different is that I'm trying to pull that foot, which is on the floor, slightly over the floor. This is important that you don't push too much, because if you push that foot too much into the floor, you will not slide, you will get stuck. So it's kind of like slight like ice skating or going over water, yes? So if you are a bit more beginner, you can also use both arms. Otherwise, try to use this arm to like float next to you. We're gonna push, drag, bring that foot to the front. So now you can see it quite low. I'm on the front of my box. From here, I'm gonna push up. My body's kind of collapsed. And when I push up, I'm gonna arch again to grab, to then turn back over into this little lunge position. So it's important, it's like if you slide, it is not that bad when you come around and go really low, because we're gonna stand up actively over our leg anyway. So don't worry if you slide. So again, we have the pirouette, we have the knee hook. Make sure your arm is really high, you're not too far out if you lose height, so you can really pull from your shoulder. Yes, use your arm in a like floating way next to you, and think about closing in the end. So I'm like open, close, toe box, not here. Yes, stay here. Now push up, stand up over your toes, and reach up with that hand. Now think about drawing a circle with your body, leaning away and falling backwards to drag that shoe with the outside edge over the floor until you're in this lunge. I'm in my armpit now, yes? From here, I'm going to think about kicking this leg away, and it's gonna lift. I'm gonna place that foot down, come on my knee, and join with my second. So it would kind of like look if I kind of like pushing my own leg away, which is not the case, but we just want to make it look like that. So from the lunge, so you can also practice that turn from the standing. So from, like, imagine you stand up. It's important you don't go too close to the pole. Think about leaning out, dragging the foot, coming into lunge. Make sure your upper body is on this side of the pole, not here. Yes? Now bring that leg around, lift, push your weight on the front. Start to bend your leg of control and release yourself all the way down. Yes? That is the first part of this choreo. I'm gonna now show you the other side, like from the back, to help you understand. So in this case, I would start on this side. So my weight is on my left leg, right leg is crossed. I'm looking down, starting with my hand up and bend. Turn, pirouette, pirouette, hook. And extend it to close, to open and fall. Extend, bring it in, replace, and slowly come down to the floor. Practice this first part with flow, so your body kind of feel where it has to go before you move on with the next part. To continue this flow, we ended up on our knees after the little skippy leg. From here, I'm gonna now like move my weight over to my right leg and up. So I want to open my legs into like a diamond. So it's going to look like this, up and down. So my feet kind of stay together while I lean over to my right to be able to lift my left knee off the floor. I only keep my right hand on the pole. My left is at the same time touching myself. So I can just like up and sit back down. Now, the free arm is reaching around to the other side while I lean forward as well. So my weight goes on my front leg, so my left. So I'm gonna move over to kind of like grab the floor in front of me. Yes? So we had up and reach. Now, from here, yes, so my booty shows to the front. I want to bring my foot below my bum, bring the second leg straight back. Bend it and turn it up. Extend. Yes? From here, we're going to do rotation. So we're going to turn our knee as much as we can to the outside. We're going to bend the leg. Try to see our shin. Bring it out. So internal rotation. Up. And one more time. In external rotation. Internal. And the second time, I'm going to keep it straight. I'm going to bring it over my bottom leg joints. So I can, again, sit down on my knees. Yes? So one more time from here, from actually this part. So we had up, down, reach, lean, extend, bend, turn, extend. And we have external rotation first. So turn knee out, rotate one, rotate two, and straight. Over and just sit. So we basically end up again where we started. Yes? I'm going to show you this from the back as well. So from here, we had the diamond shape. So up, down, reach really far. Bring the leg back, bend it, extend it, up, rotate. And one more time, in, out, move over on your knees. Yes? That rotation is a bit of practice, so it depends how often you do those rotations. Your hip might be, what is this? I don't know this. Yeah, so you'll get better once you do it more. So if it feels a bit like cringy, or like there's a moment where it feels very hard, it's normal, it's just your joint not being used for those rotations, but it's actually very healthy to do them. So try to go for the biggest circle you can do. Once we landed back on here, we're also going to add, for this part, we're going to add how we stand up. So we landed back on our knees. Now I'm going to move again my weight to the right, like in a diamond, but in this time I'm going to lift my left leg up and extend it. At the same time, I'm moving my back arm, which is my right, all the way up so I can pull and use my other hand to push, because I want to do a spin. So I'm going to pull this leg around, I'm gonna push, pull, bring both feet back and move up over my toes to stand. Yes, so I have to use my leg as a momentum, but I'm not really going like a lot above the surface. I'm sliding also a little bit over it, but you need to use push and pull, otherwise you get stuck. So from here we head up, around, push, pull to replace, and show up over your toes, so the front of your box, and then stand up. This looks this way from the other side. So from here, we had landed back from the whole rotation thing. We're going to move on our right, lift our left, bring it around, booty up, and the rest of your body. Yeah, so this is part 2 of this flow. Practice this as well, add it to the first part, make it in a flow before we move on with the last part. For the last part of this flow, we ended up from our spin. So I'm going to show you from the spin to the standing. Yes, up. Now, from here, I'm going to slide my outside hand, my right arm, a little bit up, and I'm going to start moving into a flow. Now, a spin, sorry. So what I want to do at the same time is I'm going to switch already my inside hand, because you're going to see we're going to do like a little rotation spin. So I'm going to fall, turn, and land on my knees. So that hand will help me to like rotate around, so I face the diagonal position in this room by the end when I land. It's not like a huge banger move, so don't be afraid too much, but use some nice knee pads and you don't feel scared at all. When we do this spin, we want to think about falling forwards first. So don't think about jumping or something. It's more about like, especially if you wear heels, you want to roll over your platforms to kind of like fall forwards. That it takes a while until you actually have the weight in your spin. Yes. So when you fall, so I'm like came up, I'm right away placing my hand. I'm starting my spin, kind of like as well if you would use your hips in a rotation, like in a circle motion, in a hula hoop kind of motion. So from here, I'm gonna spin, lift my legs. I'm gonna turn. Yes, you can see I can even cheat by the end to like push myself in the right direction to land. It's important that your legs are still in the air when you turn. So it's basically like a front, one arm front spin that then you add a rotation to land. Yes. So it's gonna be just a very short little drop. I'm gonna show you one more time as well from the other side. So let me do this one more from the straight side, from the front side. So we have from here, we're gonna move, fall, turn, and sit. Okay. Then the other side, just so you see from the back. So imagine we came up from the spin. Yes, we have here. Again, think about the hula hoop. Hula hoop, bring your legs, turn, and land on the floor. Yes? So that would be your landing. Now, we landed on the floor. Now what I'm doing, so I'm landing, I'm gonna place my hands on the floor, and I will now dive down, yeah, so like here, to push myself a little back, especially if you were too far away. If you were close, you don't need to do this. Yeah, it depends sometimes when I spin a bit too far, I dive down. So from here, I dive down, then I will show up and tuck my hips. Yes. If you already landed right quite close, you can also just from here and then kind of like jump right away into the next part. So don't worry. This is just if you have been a bit far, you can dive, throw, Cobra, round, and hips. Yes. Then from here, you want to make sure your hands are close enough so that when you now jump, you can go on your feet. Now, push your booty back, bring your front arm up to grab the pole. Yes. And now, show up to stand. Once I stand, I want to circle my arm behind. So my front arm, my left arm is going to circle behind to grab down into like a Jamila apprentice grip. Yes. And I'm going to bend my legs at the same time. So let me show you one more time with the spin to get the flow connection. We had the show up, from here. Yes, we had the turn, down, dive, up, hips, hands, up, lean, grab, show up, move your arms in a circle, and bend your legs. Okay? I'll show you from the other side as well, from the finish of the spin. So if I will go this way, I will land this way. So we ended up on our knees from the spin. We place our hands, we dive, we push, cobra, round, hips. Bring your hands closer. Jump on your feet, bring your booty back, grab above your booty, and show up from here. Left, right, bend your legs. Yes? Just like jump up on your feet to stand up. It's a bit of practice, but it's really helpful if you lean back. If you struggle with flexibility, you can also bend one leg. Yeah, so if you really struggle of keeping both legs straight, you can cheat it a little bit, which is adjust it by from here when you're like, fuck, just bend one side and then grab the pull. And then slow up and you can extend both again. Yes, so this makes it a little bit easier for your hamstring, otherwise you have to like really have a good stretch here. All right, so we ended up in our circle with bent legs. We're gonna finish this. So we came here, we were in our squat. Now we're gonna roll over our knee to come to the floor again. Sit behind the pole, or around behind the pole, yeah, somewhere here. Then to come back up, we're gonna switch knees. So it's gonna be from left to right. I'm gonna reach again up with my right hand. I'm bringing my left leg into a lunge, yes. And what I wanna do now is I wanna push my hips up, roll over the side to come in this position, which I call a hot dog. This is nothing official, it's just for me to for my students to rely on a word because it's such a movement that's always there. So the reason why is because I feel like it looks like a peeing dog, but it's a really hot dog. You know, it wears stripper heels and stuff. So that's why I call it a hot dog. Yes, but yeah, call it whatever you like. If I say hot dog, that's the position I mean. So let's do this one more time from the circle. So we were here, standing, hips on the pole. We had one arm, second arm, and bend over your box side on your shin. Bring your leg behind, sit down, move up, turn to the pole, bring that straight leg around into a lunge and turn towards that leg. Now think about pushing your hips up, reach to the floor, come down on your knee into your hot dog position. When you do those when you roll over your platform, make sure that you really roll over the side. Yes, I really want you to think about rolling over that side to then come over. So this prevents you from flexing your foot. So we don't want to flex our foot, okay? When you're here, because most what happens is this. Yes, you see how I collapse? It's important that you always try to extend your ankle as much as possible. Push your hips up, pull from your arm, and roll over the side of your platform while stabilizing your ankle. Yes, really try this. I know it's in the beginning, if you're not used to it, it's quite hard, but it will really improve your execution a lot. So after we came into hot dog position, so push, roll, and bring your second leg around. Yes, we're here. Now, especially if you're all a little bit more intermediate or advanced, this is going to be the next move for you. If you're more beginner, you can already skip this one. I'm going to show you an easier option as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this leg back and up. So think about lifting it. It's not a swing, it's just a lift. And I'm going to extend my back. From here, I'm now going to kick it up so I can pull with my top arm and replace my bottom leg. So it looks like this. Reach and kick to stand. Yes, so I want to come on my left foot. This is a mixture between obviously pulling from the top arm, so you need a bit of grip, but also that moment of kick which lifts you up. So the more of explosive motion you put into that leg kicking up, the easier it will be to lift on that foot. So don't go small. You need to like pa-bam, yeah. Imagine you want to kick something like a balloon or something. Yes, I don't know. Just imagine something you want to kick. Yes. So from your hot dog, also make sure the shoulder blade is down. Don't be here, yes, because that will make it really impossible. But make sure you're open. Think about extending, even turning your belly button a little bit up, yes, and then up, kick, place. Then place your foot again next to it. So both knees a bit together, so like a little schoolgirl. I'm so shy. Yes, and then from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna push up and extend our hips and open our legs to then lean back with our upper body to throw up and land on our knees. This movement is used a lot as well to make it look like you're flying, to really make it really explosive, to even lift off the floor. You want to make sure you are very closed, so you close our knees, round in, to then have this really explosive extension. There we go. Extension to then have this energy that pulls up. So with extension, I mean hips, upper, like lower body, upper body, and also head. Yes, it doesn't stop with your head. So you need to think about a reverse body wave, being like, whoosh, throwing yourself up. So one more time from here, we had pick it up into this position, place it down, take a deep breath. Now from here, push your hips. So start with your hips if you're reverse body wave and end up with your head. So gonna push. You can also use your arm to like throw, just like ha, and forwards. Yes. If you go forwards, you can also sit down, whatever feels more comfortable. You're not gonna land very hard. What's also really important is that you use your feet to push. So when you, from here, yes, when you're here, you want to push up through your feet. So don't put your foot all the way on the floor, it's your tiptoes. Yes, because from here, we're gonna push up. Yes, so up, push, like you wanna stand up before you land. Yeah, and then in the end, I just added like a little turn to sit. You can add up whatever you like to finish this choreo or flow. Now I'm gonna show you this whole part, last part, from the other side, so you can also see a different angle. So all the way from here, we had spin, to stand, to turn, to land, down, up, tuck, on your feet, grab, up, circle, bend, around, sit, turn to lunge, over and kick. Bring your feet together, push and land. And if you want, add a turn. That's my dog. He's approving that we are finished with this choreo and this flow. So guys, we're finished with this flow. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions or anything you want to know and any more details you want to know, feel free to send me a message, send me a video, or tag me, and I'm happy there to help you guys.